The Department of Zoology, Holy Cross College Autonomous, Nagarkoil, proudly presents a video on the life and legacy of Mother Claudine, the foundress of the Holy Cross congregation. The performance highlighted her unwavering faith, compassion for the needy, and dedication to education through powerful scenes and heartfelt acting. Students portrayed her inspiring journey and her mission to serve humanity, leaving the audience motivated to follow her as an example. Now for your response.
In 1801, in the village of Chavanord, France, Claudine Echernier was born. This land, known for its hard-working people, saw the birth of a future founder of the Sisters of the Cross. Raised by her parents, François Echernier and Annie Dutrell, Claudine was the eldest of 5 surviving children. She grew up with the strong Christian values during the difficult times after the French Revolution. The land, known for its hard-working and simple peasant community, contributed to better times ahead as the state and the church signed the peace treaty of 1801. Claudine's mother suffered ill health and would always advise her, "Fear the good God." Then she had to face the misfortune of losing her dear mother. She learned to sacrifice her own natural desires for enjoyment. She also learned the art of self-denial, which strengthened her. When she was working as a housemaid in the house of Mr. Vernas, she was treated as a family member. Her kind master was concerned about her health and was exerted herself to the extent of working hours in advance so as to spare time to attend Mass at least during some days of the week. At just 10 years old, Claudine worked as a shepherdess, joyfully tending goats to support her family while quietly nurturing her love for God. Claudine cared for goats with love even as a child, finding peace in the quiet fields. While guiding the goats, she also let her heart be guided by God. Among the goats, she found time for prayer and deep thoughts of faith. The shepherdess of the hill, Claudine, was already a shepherd of souls in the spirit. With goats around her and God in her heart, Claudine's journey of holiness began. She sacrificed herself for the well-being of her family with serene generosity. She lived only for them. During this time, she felt in her the deep desire to learn to read in order to pray fervently and receive Holy Communion. Even as a child, her heart was deeply rooted in faith. Claudine's life was guided by an unshakable trust in God. But an unexpected tragedy struck the family. Her father was condemned to 2.5 years of imprisonment as he became a victim of illegal trade to pay off his debt. This tremendous test of faith and courage became the beginning of her formation. She fulfilled all her obligations perfectly and even found time to visit her father in prison. She learned stitching not just to support her family but to serve others. Claudine's hand stitched clothes, her heart stitched hope. Sewing became her prayers, her missions, and her strength. Thread by thread, she stitched a future for her siblings. In the quiet home of stitching, she listened to God's call. Stitching taught her patience, self-reliance, and devotion. She herself stitched the bridal dress for her future stepmother. She saw this as a God-given opportunity to hand over a responsibility and pursue her call for solitude. As far as he was concerned, he had been thinking about his remarriage. This was widely noticed and talked about by the public. At that time, he was 26 years old. In Van-le-Creux, the event involving a stepmother became official. Claudine was ready to accept it. Those who gossiped about it were left surprised by how gracefully she handled everything. She personally prepared the wedding clothes for her father's second marriage. Furthermore, she made all the arrangements for it.
Her earnest desire to reach out took her to the boarding school in Carouge, Kennywood, Switzerland. Determined to train herself to read and write fluently, she returned to Chavanord to seal to transmit the knowledge she acquired to the little girls. The goodness and the kindness of Claudine was admired by all. The brother of parish priest even proposed to marry her. But God had other plans for her. The Spirit guided her in another direction. This was indeed divine intervention because it was here that she was introduced by Father Martin to Father Mermier, a Dacian priest. He was preparing priests to form missionary congregation. Father Mermier was an austere priest of unbounded zeal. Thus, the congregation was born in extreme poverty and great simplicity. In keeping with the signs of times, Mother Claudine loved to say that she was an instrument placed by divine providence in the hands of Father Mermier. Father Mermier journeyed from Annecy to Chavnod 8 kilometers on foot in order to instruct and encourage the sisters and to make the arrangement for the spiritual need for the newborn community. Magister Ray officially recognized the congregation on 4th of November 1841. Father Mermier never failed to take keen interest in new openings for the sisters and saw the correspondence and formality that were needed to be seen to. He was a humble man possessed by strength from on high. Though his discernment and prayerful reflection, he read the signs of the times. He said yes to the Lord and was able to lay the foundation of 2 congregations. When Mother Claudine was tempted to lose her heart, Father Mermier urged to say to trust, saying, "Don't worry, as long as you set your heart on God's kingdom first and His righteousness, all these other things will be given to you as well." Father Mermier continued guiding Mother Claudine through letters and helped to find solutions to various issues, which are the part of a new beginning. In the letters that he wrote to the sisters, he excited things from them and did not remain on the level of sentiment. They focused on their attention and serving their divine spouse. Moreover, the attentive and understanding heart of Mother Claudine did not fail to bring them great comfort and review their seals. Mother Claudine loved the Lord unconditionally. She did every possible not to give room for anyone to offend God.
To give alms was a great joy. Alms expedite things. She used to say, "Let us work, save all, and give alms abundantly." Mother Claudine's only aim was to secure the glory of God and the salvation of the souls by her good example and edifying words. She lived only for Him and sought only to Him. In his last letters to Mother Claudine, he writes, "I am convinced that you do your best, that you are a good mother, and that all your happiness consists in making your dear daughters happy." In 1858, Father Mermier fell ill on 30th September 1862. Our congregation went through severe sorrow for losing in the person of Father Peter Mary Mermier, its founder, its benefactor, and its father. Mother Claudine made frequent visits to the communities. She loved to repeat to her sisters, "The Sisters of the Cross are made the midst of the world, but they are not a part of it. Happiness comes when we are forgotten and despised," she said, urging meditation only to Holy Father's poverty. During one harvest season, though the priest allowed Sunday work due to bad weather, Mother Foundress refused. At dawn on Monday, she gathered the sisters for prayer, then began work. Neighbors joined, and the harvest was done by morning, just as the rain began. Our venerated mother had a filial devotion to Mary, our mother. She never ceased to pray to the Holy Virgin and imitate her in her humility, modesty, and simplicity. With the sentiments of Jesus, she prayed. On her return from La Salette for the first time, our mother asked to take rest before the hour fixed for the community. The next morning, she was on her feet at the sound of the bell, but weakness tested her courage. She was forced to go to the bed. Her exterior senses as well as the faculties of her soul were subjected to the prospect of mortification. Her illness worsened and made her say, "It is time that I go. I have decided for a long time." The sisters gathered around her and they could see the movement of her lips repeat, Jesus, my Jesus. In 1883, the sisters had the joy of seeing a monument erected to Our Lady of Compassion behind the main building of Mother House. On her tombstones are carved these words, "The cross was her book, the cross will be her glory."